Hello, collective. This is Tan for Artemis Oracle. Doing the live reading. It's what the current energy is and anything you need to know. I hope you had a great weekend and your day is off to a good start, or you've had a great day so far. I'm checking audio right now. Let's see. My Bluetooth on. Okay, look like the audio is working. See. So whenever this reading resonates with you, with any message resonates with you, please let me know by giving this video a like or giving this live a like, subscribing, letting me know in the comment section, chatting with me. But let's see what the current energy is. Chatting with me. Okay. Leave that there. So I'm going to go into the Sassy Spirits card deck and see what message, anything you need to know. These are funny cards, but it may touch on the current energy that may resonate with you at all, or could just simply be advice that you need to hear at this time. Okay, let's see. What does the collective or anyone who resonates with this reading, what do they need to know at this time? What messages do you have for their highest and greatest good? Even spirit has a sense of humor. Let me know. Okay, we got two cards. Oh, we got three, actually. The first one is, yes, you're overthinking it again. The next one is, trust your gut unless it's telling you to text them. And Mercury retrograde didn't make you text your ex. You did that sober. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of energy about ex energy, communication, texting. Don't text. Stop overthinking it. Trust your gut unless it's telling you to text them. Why did I do that? Send. So some of you may be like, I know this happens sometimes. You were like, oh yeah, Mercury was a retrograde. It's a full moon, and the moon makes you crazy. And it kind of does, depending on how you are, like sensitive wise. I feel like I'm a little sensitive to the moon. But I don't like to blame it. I'm like, I think we have to be accountable to our own actions, right? So if there's something that you did and that you're having regret about, it's take accountability for it. Don't blame a planet. Don't blame the stars. Don't blame anybody but yourself. You got to take accountability for your own actions, right? But there's something like some of you maybe wanted to reach out to somebody. You may be feeling this inclination to text somebody, but it says, trust your gut unless it's telling you to text them. Sometimes someone can pull on us, or people can pull on us energetically where we feel like the urge to text them. But if texting them will lead to any feelings of discontent or just bring up old shit that you don't want to deal with anymore, then just don't contact this person, especially if this is something that you're overthinking. Possibly, like I mentioned, like someone could be pulling on your energy. You may be thinking about somebody. You're starting to think about somebody, possibly somebody that you haven't thought of or thought about in a while. So that may be something that's going on. Somebody could be popping up in your mind and you feel like, oh, maybe I should reach out to them. But if it's tied to anything negative in the past that may trigger or re-trigger you, then your best bet is to protect yourself. And and if you do reach out to them, then understand that you made that decision. Don't blame it on anybody else but yourself. Take accountability for that. So okay, let's see what else we could get. All right, so I'm going to put those cards to the side. We just had the new moon in Capricorn I think it was on Sunday. So this is a time to be self-disciplined. If there's any intentions that you would like to set, new moons are the best time to do it, because basically the new moon is like a new beginning. It's a reset. It's a new phase. So it's an opportunity to restart something. Reestablish discipline, make up a game plan, start planning, being more strategic about anything that you would like to accomplish. So, okay. Any messages that collective needs to know? This is the Revealing the Truth Oracle deck. So let's see what's going to come out with this deck. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Tan, and this is my channel, Artemis Oracle. Okay, what is the Revealing the Truth? What truth needs to be revealed at this time? See, we have the card Message popping up. Communication records, call records, instant messaging, mystery, unknown, puzzle, illusion, confusing. So there may be some sort of communication that you're receiving that's maybe confusing to you, that, you know, that you may be wanting a little bit more clarity about. Some of you may be receiving messages from like unknown people. Like this could be somebody that's watching you, somebody who may be testing you, maybe somebody from the past that wants to see if you would engage with them. This could be somebody that you're blocked and that may be reaching out to you under a different account, something like that. And maybe something that it may have crossed your mind, you know, but you may not be sure. If that was something that you've been thinking about, then you're right. Okay, let's see. Anything else about revealing the truth? Any other truth needs to be revealed? Any truth that needs to be revealed at this time? Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. That's a chunk of cards. But I'm going to take the first one I see, guard. Some of you may be feeling the need to protect yourself from something, especially if this is somebody that you blocked for a reason, you know, that you suspect it could be somebody that, you know, you blocked that may be reaching out to you under different aliases, I'm going to say. You may be also, I will also say beware of any scams, any text scams, messaging scams. That may be coming off as like an opportunity, or it may be somebody pretending to be somebody else. They're creating an illusion. So if you're getting a gut feeling about something like that, then trust your gut. If it's asking for information that is otherwise sensitive, you know, like your date of birth, your account number, social security, you know, private stuff like that, and just don't engage with that that type of communication. But it says protect, escort, teach. Yeah, some of you may have cut out somebody, and this person may be trying to find different ways to, I want to say you cut the cord with somebody and they're trying different ways to reattach to you, possibly reattach to your energy. Four is at the bottom. Imaginative, investigation. Why do I want to say imaginative? Somebody may be fantasizing. Investigation, explore, search. So there may be somebody who's trying to search for you, search for information about you, trying to get that information from you from the primary source. Okay, I want to go into another deck. Let me go into the Love Oracle. Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're having a great day. My name is Tan. This is Artemis Oracle. This is my channel. I do tarot and oracle readings. Can you tell me about message? What is this message? I want to clarify that card. Resistance, secret admirer, suppressing, timid. Okay, so there may be somebody that is a secret admirer, somebody that has been wanting to reach out to you, maybe wanting to flirt with you, but they may be a little bit afraid to do so. So they may, you know, kind of test the waters by possibly sending, you know, like trying to bait you in some way. This person could also be trying to suppress the urge to reach out to you. But it's definitely somebody who may be, like it says, resistant. Someone that is hesitant to reach out. They're resisting the urge. Because if there are someone who... Yeah, this person likes you. They're not sure how you feel about them. I mean, it could be time, waiting. So resistance, time, waiting, cycles. I feel like this person is resisting the urge to contact you. They may be waiting for the right time or waiting for the go ahead from you. Some sort of clue that will let them know it's okay for them to engage you in some way. And it doesn't have to be romantic, but these are love oracle cards. So it could be somebody that you do love or someone, but it could be somebody that loves you, it is a secret admirer. So I'm gonna stick with romantic. I feel like this is romantic. Tell me about mystery. Well, this is the love oracle, so we're taking that turn. Oracle, love oracle, mystery. Mystery. Tell me about mystery. What is unknown? What may be the source of confusion? Okay. Oh, wow. You saw those cards flipped over. Okay. Mystery is clarified by pain, apprehensive, afraid, cautious. Yeah, I feel like there's somebody if you do have a secret admirer, this person may be using a different account to kind of gauge how they can possibly approach you. But you know what's weird? When people use fake accounts or whatever, we already know, like, if you don't have a lot of subscribers, or followers, then we know the account is basically BS. So we already know, okay, why is this person texting me? Why is this person messaging me? We kind of get the inkling that, this is possibly somebody pretending to be somebody else. Like I said, if that's something you sense, then you're correct. But this card says apprehensive, afraid, cautious. So this person, like I said, is resisting the urge to contact you, but they may be creating some sort of aliases, pretending to be somebody else because they feel like it would probably be a safer way for them to try to reach out to you, to gauge a reaction from you. I'm getting catfishing for some reason. But they want to avoid the pain of rejection because rejection is not the greatest feeling, especially if you really like somebody and then you're not sure how they're going to receive that sort of message. But the card conflicted came out, decisions, hot and cold, multiple choices. So this is something that they may possibly be thinking about. They're conflicted about taking this approach, even though it may seem like the safest thing to do to avoid rejection, avoid the pain of rejection, or even the embarrassment, right? But then hoping, expecting faith, and manifesting. This person may be hopeful that at least they get an idea of what would be the best way to approach you. But I feel like this is so dumb. Because if you start, say you're messaging somebody and they have the account that has a lot of followers and stuff, and you start messaging and you already know who this person is by another account name. But then this is so fucking weird. Why am I even thinking this? It's possible though, right? Because this shit is real. If you were to find out that the person that was talking to you under a different account and pretending to be somebody else, wouldn't that create conflict? Wouldn't that cause you to put your guard up, want to protect yourself because somebody is basically fucking lying about who they are? All right, you're lying about who you are here. You're not telling me who you really are and you like me, but then you're pretending to be somebody else. Then how do I know what's real? Who are you? I know this sounds so crazy, but sometimes if you think up something, you're like, oh, I wonder if that happened. Yeah, it did happen. It happened. If you could think it already happened. Or it could happen. It's a possibility. So protect, escort, teach. What is this about? Protect, escort, teach. Yeah. Okay, the perspective came out in the reverse. This is better off, happiness, clear headspace. Now, if it was this person that wants to kind of be hidden in the shadows and they want to guard the identity, you know what I wonder? This is another thing too, because I don't know why people do this, but I feel like this is something guys do. And you can let me know if I'm wrong, if you're a guy. But sometimes they want to test how a woman would react if they're offered money. I remember I used to get these stupid messages, and I know they had to be scams or something, but they're like, "Oh, honey, you're so gorgeous. I'm looking for a special lady like you, and I'll give you a weekly allowance of $10,000, some shit like that." So I wonder if this person is doing something like that just to see if you're like somebody who likes money, who's money hungry, or a gold digger in some way, because this person, that's side message. It doesn't have to be true. This may not be resonating with everybody or anybody, but it just popped up in my mind that this person maybe wanted to gain more clarity or understanding about the type of person you are, to see if you're someone who's money hungry, someone who likes money, who is a gold digger in some way. I don't know if women do that. I don't think we do that, but I think I would think a man would, because they want to protect their assets. They want to be sure that if there's someone that they're interested in, they want to make sure that's the type of woman that won't like try to take advantage. Or it could be the type of guy that wants to, I don't know, like maybe see if he doesn't have any money. He wants to see if the person, it does like money. And you'd be like, okay, well, she likes money. She likes being offered money. So I guess I'm not the guy for her. I don't know if that's I don't know. I don't know. You can let me know if you're a guy watching. But yes. So, but the thing is, somebody is like, guard, protect, escort, teach, perspective, better off, happiness, clear headspace. The sword in tarot is about truth, honesty, and clarity. So if this, like I was mentioning, like this person may be wanting to find out some sort of truth and maybe messaging you under a different alias, just to get some idea about who you are. And I don't know why the money thing came up in my mind, but I noticed sometimes like there will send messages like that to me, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm like, is it a scam or not? Right. But this person may be wanting to protect something, but it could also be they're wanting to protect their ego. But I want to know what the perspective is. Like, are they getting some sort of clarity or something? Like, I feel like, let's see what comes out with for a garden perspective. Can you tell me more about perspective? This card. Boundaries. No, drawing the line enough. I feel like this kind of ties back to, like, if this is somebody that that you've blocked, this is somebody that you've definitely drawn a line with, because whatever they may have been doing in the past that caused you to cut them out of your life, it's taught you that you need to create and establish boundaries for yourself to make sure that you're protected. You've learned a lesson with this person, Maybe this is someone who has always been hiding things from you. If this is somebody from the past that, created illusions, pretended to be something that they weren't, but it's like the more you interacted with them, the more you observe them, with the look for card, you noticed, you started to be aware of certain things about them that taught you that if there are certain red flags that this person may be giving off, that you need to protect yourself, that you need to put up boundaries. So this is why, there's this guarded energy coming up. This person probably is someone who wanted a lust-based relationship, somebody that wasn't committal. You could have been engaging in, like something forbidden or taboo, and however that means to you, this could have been somebody that was already in a relationship. This could be somebody that, like you're not really one to do, like have, like it could be friends with benefits, something that's not like a committed relationship. Like it says non-committal. So it could have been that kind of, connection. But I want to go back to the spiritual messages, because this could be you. This could be you. The first card that we got was overthinking. So there may be a part of you that may be wanting to reach out to this person because there's a curiosity that you have, possibly you're wanting to see if this person changed, or you want to see what's going on with this person, but it's saying trust your gut unless it's telling you to text them. So if there's a part of you that's having the desire to reach out to somebody, it's like saying no, hold back, with resist that urge, resist that urge, you know. But also, if you do, like I said, you have to, whatever trauma, whatever triggers that may happen from you reaching out to them, don't blame it on anybody. Don't blame it on the planets. Don't blame it on Mercury retrograde. Don't blame it on the moon. Take accountability for your actions, you know, because we are responsible for protecting ourselves. We are responsible for, you know, putting up guards and establishing and reinforcing boundaries that we, you know, that we create. You know, this is where respect comes from. So it's like, it's not, sometimes it's not always other people. It could be us. It could be coming from us, you know? Let's see what else. All right. So that's one message. I'm going to leave these cards here too, because you may never know, like it might tie it to something else that may come out. All right, so let's see. I have so many tarot cards and I want to get more. I'm like a tarot crackhead or something. They should have like Tarot Card Anonymous, because they have so many beautiful cards and I want them all. Like they're like Pokemon for some reason. Gotta catch them all. What card do I want to use? What do I see? What do I see? Ugh, I'm inclined to use the Gilded Tarot. This is my most recent deck, and it's been really good. Okay, let's see what else comes out. Okay, we got the King of Cups and the Four of Cups. So the King of Cups is Scorpio energy, water sign energy, masculine energy. But remember, we embody both energies, masculine and feminine. So there may be a King of Cups, or you may resonate as being the King of Cups, that may be waiting for an offer, you know, with the Four of Cups showing up here. You may be waiting for some sort of love offer, some gesture of love, and it could be coming from, let's see. Ooh. Okay. Because I got the Eight of Wands coming out. Or let's see what else comes out. I feel like there's going to be an unexpected offer made that you may not be expecting. Because you probably... okay, let me see. Okay, this is interesting because we have the Five of Cups, which has to do with crying over spilled milk, focus on negative, focusing on the past, but not looking at new opportunities that may be coming up to you. But then we have the Devil card showing up. This is Capricorn energy, but it could be that some of you may be... Let me see how that feels, because I don't know if this is like negative devil or it could be the sign itself. I mean, negative devil. I remember the devil, they say is negative, you know. We all have our devils, you know. It's the parts of ourselves that we kind of hide. We don't really show. It could be like our little toxic traits or other people's toxic traits, behaviors. It'll be things that bind us, like our self-limiting thoughts and beliefs, allowing ourselves to be controlled, puppeted in some way. But let me see. King of Cups. So if there's a King of Cups energy, right? It could be you or another person that has experienced some sort of disappointment in the past. You know, it could be something that you're continuing to mull over, you're thinking about, but not looking forward to the future. This could be something that is binding you in some way, because there may have been some sort of strong bond or attachment that you had with a person, but it led to heartbreak with the Three of Swords showing up. You know, it could be something that, it could have been a relationship that, you know, I guess progressed very quickly, but it ultimately crashed and burned in some way and led to heartbreak. Or it could be that some of you are like healing very quickly or moving on from this past heartbreak. I need to clarify something. I want to clarify the devil. The devil, well, that's 10 of Pentacles. If this doesn't have to do with work, I mean, like, I'm thinking this could have to do with work with 10 of Pentacles, but it could be like maybe you wanted to establish a relationship where you and this person would have like a strong foundation. You know, you can have the happy home, happy life, be abundant, family, generational wealth, legacy, all that good stuff, right? But the Capricorn Saturn energy is typically about hard work, having that grind mindset, being very much focused on, you know, money. But money could also be a limitation if this is a love relationship. So money could be a limitation, an interfering factor. Maybe somebody's experiencing some sort of financial hardship. And I mean, sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're in a relationship or you want to have a relationship, but you feel like you don't really have much to offer. Nine of Swords is indicating somebody's been overthinking. Hi, Christopher. Thank you. So 10 of Pentacles with the Nine of Swords. Yeah, somebody has been overthinking. I feel like this has to do with maybe somebody's waiting for some sort of offer that might help get them out of their head about their finances, you know, because the Nine of Swords is indicating like overthinking, sleepless nights, stress, anxiety, you know, and I love to see the owl there because to me, owls represent wisdom, information, clarity. But the owl is white, and white represents like purity and also hope and possibly peace coming to them, you know, like peace, like this. The owl seems like it's flying, like it's going to fly through the window and be some sort of like it's going to bring peace, you know. So there may be some sort of reprieve, but it has to come from the right offer, one that is stable, that is secure, one that and it may come quickly, and it can be coming from a water sign energy with the King of Cups. It could be like a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. You know how companies, they could have, like when a company is established, it has its own birth chart or star chart or whatever. So it could be even a company that was probably established during any of the water sign seasons. I know that's so random and that's so woo woo, but you know, like, like even like planets. I mean, like even Earth has a birth chart, you know. Okay, but I feel like that there's going to be some sort of offer that's coming in that's going to allow you to come out of your head, but it may be coming in with the Four of Cups, or it could be just you're waiting for the right offer. It may be coming in quickly, but I want to know what the Four of Cups is though. Because it could be read in so many different ways, because we could have our heart broken for so many different things. It doesn't have to be romantic, you know. It could be platonic. It could be like losing a job. It could be losing someone. It could be anything. And God forbid you lost anyone. And if you did, you have my sympathies. Last year, my younger brother passed away unexpectedly. So I'm sorry for your loss if that's the case. King of Swords. So the King of Swords is a air sign energy. But it's also like air sign. So that may be, let me see, Knight of Wands energy. If this has to do with court, and I know I'm not a lawyer, okay? I'm not a lawyer. But if the King of Swords is usually like has to do with law and order, right? But the Knight of Wands is indicating like back and forth. So there may be some sort of like negotiation or litigation where there's a lot of back and forth, and some of you may be waiting for some judgment to come in. Oh my God, look at the King of Pentacles. That has to do with money, abundance, finances, stability. So some of you may be waiting for some sort of judgment that can help be a source of peace, that kind of like brings peace of mind, you know, like I mentioned, the Nine of Swords, anxiety, but then that owl and wisdom, air sign energy, right? The King of Swords, a judge, a lawyer, something, waiting for a lawyer. Back and forth, Knight of Wands is still a knight that goes back and forth constantly. They call him the player knight. But if we're looking at it from a legal aspect, it could be a lot of negotiation, a lot of communication, a lot of back and forth action going on. Could be with paperwork. It could be some sort of action that requires, but something may be coming in quickly. I see a king, and then we saw the King of Pentacles. Okay. I want to know what this Three of Swords is. Three of Swords is the Ace of Cups with the Six of Pentacles. I mean, if we're looking at, you know, the way tarot is very interesting because you could look at it as an entire story. But me as a reader, I could look at it like individually. Each card could have its own meaning, or they could all connect with each other, you know? So like I said, the Three of Swords is about disappointment, grief, sadness. So if this is something like that was like a relationship that ended, or there seems to be like a new beginning coming in with love, or it could be a time for you to start giving to yourself because the Six of Pentacles came out and it's about sharing and generosity. But it could also mean that you're going to have an opportunity to possibly receive an offer, a new love offer for someone who is going to be very fair and just with you, who's going to give just as much as you know, they're going to match your energy in that sense. But the heartbreak could also be that in the past you were dealing with energies that were breadcrumbing you in the worst sense, and that caused you to be disappointed. That may have even caused you to question your own self-worth. And if that's the case, you are enough, okay? Always believe that. And one of the quotes that popped up in my mind is, as long as you love yourself, you will always be loved. Stay with that. As long as you love yourself, you will always be loved. You're always with yourself. People can add value to our life, but they're not the reason why we are valued. You know what I mean? Like, we have to know our own value. People can add to it, but they definitely cannot take away from it. As long as you know you are worthy, you are good enough. And like I said, I'm going to say it again. As long as you love yourself, you will always be loved. Okay? That's my quote. Okay, Tanya, and Artemis Oracle said that, okay? So, but I feel like some of you may be encountering, you know, like you may be recovering quickly from a past heartbreak. And then new opportunity is going to come in and it's going to be matching you. It's going to be someone who's generous. Let's see. It could be a water sign energy, you know. Maybe, and with the King of Swords and the Knight of Wands, in the past, you dealt with energies that you had to cut somebody off. Like you had to pull out your masculine energy and cut somebody out, you know, cut that player energy out, especially if they, you know, if this is a person that was being deceptive. Like if you tie back to the past card, like someone who caused disappointment, that you had to guard yourself from. Well, I want to know more about the Ace of Cups and Six of Pentacles. Ace of Cups and Six of Pentacles. Like this Knight of Wands and then the Lesson card, this is possibly somebody who just wanted a good time. Tell me more about this new love. The Six of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups could also represent too, like if outside of a love situation, it could be a new love offer, a new offer, and it could be something that you really care about, that fulfills you, in the way that, like say if you are a creative, you're passionate, you could even be a sensitive person, and you may be wanting to get into that sort of field, and you may have been in a previous position where things weren't fair, and now a new offer is coming in where that is gonna like essentially like fill your cup. It's gonna have you feeling overwhelmed, possibly emotional because of, and maybe even like, you know how sometimes when you've gone through so much shit and then you've given up hope, but then something miraculous happens and it restores that hope. Within you, it also opens up your heart. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Like, it could be something like that, and it could be like possibly like a dream position that you want. That is something that you really, really care about, and it's going to be fair. They're going to pay you properly. You're going to have fair work environment, a healthy work environment, something that isn't toxic, if that's something that you've dealt with in the past, because we do have the devil card showing up. So it could be something like that too. And if you're just coming on, this is the devil card right here. So we had the 10 of Pentacles, you know, and that's about money, wealth, even like worth. I like to look at it as also our self-worth, but also nine of Swords as overthinking, worried, afraid, stressed, having sleepless nights, you know. But that was the side message. But I'm going to go back to the Three of Swords, the Ace of Cups with the Six of Pentacles. Anything else that we need to know? Eight of Pentacles. Like I was talking about work. It could be work. Eight of Pentacles. It could have to do with work. Something that you are very much focused on too. And it's interesting because I did a reading and I mentioned one of the oracle cards. It showed a mask, and I posted like a remix, a short with that part, and somebody confirmed that they were working on something. They were working on a musical, and that they were finalizing a proposal for their musical. You know, so that could be something that applies to you. Maybe there's something that you put a lot of time and effort in, a lot of focus, something that you really care about. And then it's like an opportunity that's going to come, and that's going to be emotionally fulfilling for you, especially if you've been pouring your emotions into something. You know, you could be a writer, an actor, a singer, songwriter, a musician. You could even have been working with people, working with their emotions, like maybe like a social worker, like a mental health professional in some way. That may resonate. Yeah. I have the Death card in the bottom of the deck. It could also be that this is a side message, because I did mention some of you may have lost somebody. And this may not resonate with everybody, because not everybody has family that has wills and estates. But some of you may be hearing information about a loved one that included you in a will, and that you may be getting money from that end. That's a side message. You know, and the news may come very quickly and unexpectedly. It could possibly be somebody that a relative that you haven't seen or heard from in a long time that may have passed away. Please take it as it resonates, because it may not resonate with everybody. Okay, so that was in the bottom of the deck. But we have the Death card with the 10 of Wands and the Tower and the Emperor. We did see a lot of kings here. We had the King of Swords, the King of Cups, and we did see the King of Pentacles. We didn't see the King of Wands. So essentially the Emperor is all the kings. Like he's the king of all kings. You know, he's the father of kings, you know. So this is also the God card, but whoever your God is. But the Death card and the 10 of Wands is indicating that there's going to be an end to some sort of burdens that you may have experienced. And I did mention the 8 of Wands is something unexpected. You know, it's going to be something that's unexpected. It might not knock you on your ass. Hopefully in a good way, because towers can be positive or negative. But it seems like it's going to be a positive one. And I'm hoping that this is positive. You know, it depends on which side you're on, you know. Hopefully it's a positive one. But it seems like as long as you continue to have faith, do what you need to do, take care of the responsibilities you have. That's, you know, with death comes a rebirth. It's a new beginning. It's the end. But they said not all endings are endings. You know, it's just the beginning of something, you know? Okay. I split the deck and I saw 4 swords. So some of you, like if you have been stressed out, I think it's important for you to take time to pray, to take time away just for yourself, even if for a moment, just to meditate, to gather yourself. If it's been an emotional time for you, if you are experiencing a lot of emotional turmoil, or you are experiencing conflict, it's important to remain hopeful, but also be realistic, because yes, this is tarot and it could predict certain things, but ultimately, like a lot of readers say, it's our actions that dictate what actually happens within our lives. So, you have to take responsibility for your actions, take accountability, make sure you're making the right decisions, not allowing your fears to limit you in any way, whether it's mentally or or like with how with mentally or how you do things, like stop you from doing things, like prevent you from doing things. You could guard yourself to a certain extent, but you could guard yourself to the point that you hold yourself back. So that's something that may be also needing to end. Also, it could be that letting, sometimes with the death and the 10 of wands, you have to understand what are your burdens and what are other people's burdens. What's important to you, what you value, those are the ones that you hold on to. Whatever isn't yours, you don't have to hold on to it. You're responsible for your own happiness. You're responsible for your own health, unless you're a parent. If you're a parent, then you're responsible for your child. But or whatever other responsibility. But you have to, I think it's also like having an understanding of what belongs to you. Release what doesn't belong to you so that you could help, relieve that pressure off your shoulders. If some of you feel like you have to save people, you don't. You can help people by being a support to them, but don't be a crutch, where they end up feeling dependent on you in some way. So that could be something, a side message for someone. Don't allow other people's burdens to weigh you down. You look at everything that's on your shoulders, and then you decide what's yours and you hold on to that, and what isn't, you release. That could be what can also bring you some peace, So, and that's one of the ways that you could take control over your life too. I know there was a lot of messages, a lot of messages. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I want to give you advice cards. Oh, let's do angel answers. So I'm going to close out the reading with the angel answers cards. So hopefully if these have yes or no, they may have timing. So if you have questions, you could think about it now. Or you could just see how it resonates with you, Let's see what comes out for who resonates with this reading. What messages does the collective need to know at this time that's for the highest and greatest good? I'm going to take these, okay? And but I want to say, they just fell out, but sometimes it works out that way. There may be something in there. What messages the collective need to know at this time for the highest and greatest good? I thank you so much for joining me on today's live. It means a lot to me. I hope everything goes in your favor. Wow. I wonder if those are the only 2 cards that we need, but let's see. I'm going to shuffle 3 more times and then that'll be the end of it. This is 1, 2, this one. All right. In the bottom of the deck, we have if you believe. So this is a matter of maintaining hope, But if you believe, remove any distractions, mental distractions, and fears, limitations, because as long as you put faith or belief in those fears, those negative thoughts, you give value, you give power to them. So the first card that we got is no. If you had a question, yes or no question, no. Oh, wow. A year from now, that may be a time frame, a year from now. But remember, a year, it could be a year from now. But anything can happen between now and a year. And sometimes depending on the situation, like certain situations, they will require time to see some sort of change, especially if it has to do with finances, something that you're working on right now, but it could be within this year or within the next year, forgiveness. So whenever I think of forgiveness, the first person you should always forgive is yourself, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for what you didn't know. Forgive yourself for allowing someone to treat you a certain way. Forgive yourself for even betraying yourself in some way. But there may be somebody who may be wanting your forgiveness, too. The year from now, I don't like that card because it seems like it's gonna take forever. Because the days do go by quickly, but time does go by very quickly, right? But I mean, for this, it's like if this is something that is like a long-term goal that you're working on, a year from now is where you may be seeing. I want to, how something that may start off slow, but then it's like by the time you reach a year of whatever you started doing, that's when things start to go up. Because I'm seeing like a line chart or something, but it's not like it doesn't have this. It doesn't have like the zigzag going up and down. It's like steady progression, but in an upward tick. So it's like I think that has to do with your effort, how much effort you're putting towards something. And as long as you continue to apply sustained effort towards something, that's where you're going to see whatever growth or prosperity that you're looking for. And whenever it comes to Ten of Pentacles is something that takes time. So you have to be patient with yourself. If you make mistakes, we learn from our mistakes. And if it's something that you have to forgive yourself for, then you forgive yourself for it. But it's a matter about sustained effort that will lead to like whatever prosperity you're looking towards. Okay, so I was thinking about getting charms out, but I don't think that would be very much helpful. Um, yeah, so I hope this reading was helpful to you in some way. If it was, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you, Queen, for joining me. And Christopher, I believe I saw Christopher as well. Thank you, Christopher. And then who else did I see? Yes. It's just you two. I thank you so much for joining me. I hope everyone who's watching right now, I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are. And may just want to send you lots of love and light. Take care. Bye.